Audio stream is now active. Alright. Alright. Where would I have this thing at? Alright. Alright. I'm back to Leviticus on... I think I need to double check where was that last. Shit. I know it's somewhere on the side of the pages. I'm not sure. I had to bust out my previous live stream.
This is international version.
Blah blah blah.
So finish up these so that people find. To the his own left hand, and with his right forefinger sprinkle some of the oil the palm 7 times before the oil. Some of the oil in his palm he is to put on the same places he put the guilt offering on the lobe.
Fast forward it.
I have seen something.
Forward further.
Shall kill one of the birds over fresh disease for an itch, for mildew, or in a house, or for a swelling, a rash, or a bright spot, to determine when something is clean or unclean. These are the regulations for infectious skin disease and mildew. Anything on this for now? that's it for the Holy Bible, and I realized what type of Bible, Holy Bible this is. This Green Bible was...
Why did I not see what the last page is? Fuck.
So I'll be referring to this as international version of the Bible. Which once I finish up the Apocrypha and the international version, I will link to the Orthodox Study Bible sometime in the future. But until then, I'll be taking my time with this original Apocrypha and international version to finish both the Apocrypha and international version into the Orthodox Study Bible. And now it's time for me to cut the stream.
Damn it. I have no idea what part I was last at. Fuck. This may take a while. Alright, now I found exactly where it's at. Alright, Leviticus 14 verses 25 at page 64. Discharges causing uncleanness. Alright. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Speak to the Israelites, and say to them, when any man has a bodily discharge, a bodily discharge, the discharge is unclean, whether it continues flowing from his body or is blocked. It will make him unclean. This is how his discharge will bring about uncleanness. I can make a lot of shit jokes on that one. It's Taco Bell. It must be ancient Taco Bell back then. Anyways, any bed. The discharge is definitely unclean, alright? It's pure shit. What the fuck you ate? Taco Bell! Chipotle! Ah! I'm losing track on my personal jokes. Because, anyways, I'm losing track of what I was reading because of the personal jokes I thought couldn't help but say. Discharges causing uncleanness. Oh shit. No shit, literally. It was discharges causing uncleanness. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, when any man has a bodily discharge, the discharge is unclean, whether it continues flowing from his body or is blocked. It will make him unclean." No shit. This is just a river out of a man's ass of a discharge. A really brown river. Anyways, whether it continues flowing from his body or is blocked, it will make him unclean. This is how his discharge will bring about uncleanness. Any bed the man with a discharge lies on will be unclean. It's pure shit on the bed. Who shit on the bed? He did. This is a shit jokes written all over, and then it's hard to not to make a shit joke on this one. And anything he sits on will be unclean. I see an ass print with a doo-doo stain on it. Anyone who touches his bed must wash his clothes and bathe with water, and wash his hands too. and he will be unclean till evening. Whoever sits on anything that the man with a discharge sat on must wash his clothes and bathe with water, and he will be unclean till evening. Whoever touches a man who has discharge must wash his clothes and bathe with water, and he will be unclean till evening. If the man with the discharge spits on someone who is clean, that person must wash his clothes and bathe with water, and he will be unclean till evening. Everything the man sits on when writing will be unclean, and whoever touches any of the things that were under him will be unclean till evening. Whoever picks up those things must wash his clothes and bathe with water, and he will be unclean till evening. Dude, it's talking about a dude covering shit. That's nasty. Anyone the man with a discharge touches without rinsing his hands with water must wash his clothes and bathe with water, and he will be unclean till evening. It must have been some nasty, disgusting ass time back then. If you don't clean yourself up, you're just covered in shit. Walk about. There's just got a shit trail all over the damn Israel, Jerusalem, wherever it is that it took place. That must be the dirtiest fucking guy in existence. That even God acknowledged how dirty the dude is. Man shits himself in a bed and ends up covering himself in his own shit. And not wash himself. That is nasty. A clay pot that the man touches must be broken, and any wooden article is to be rinsed with water. When a man is cleansed from his discharge, he is to count off 7 days for his ceremonial cleansing. He must wash his clothes and bathe himself with water. With fresh water. And he will be clean. Now, if you cover yourself in shit that amount of time, I would recommend clean yourself more than 7 days. On the 8th day, he must take 2 doves or 2 young pigeons and come before the Lord to the entrance to the tent of meeting, and give them to the priest. The priest is to sacrifice them, the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering. In this way, he will make atonement before the Lord for the man because of his discharge. When a man has an emission of semen, he must bathe his whole body with water. This nigga's nasty. When a man has an emission of semen, he must bathe his whole body with water, and he will be unclean till evening. Any clothing or leather that has semen on it must be washed with water, and it will be unclean till evening. When a man lies with a woman, and there is an emission of semen, both must bathe with water, and they will be unclean till evening. When a woman has her regular flow of blood, the impurity of her monthly period will last 7 days, and anyone who touches her will be unclean till evening. I thought of making a joke, but I don't think I should. "7 days. Is there a boat you gonna float in that river of blood?" Anything she lies on during her period will be unclean. And I'd start over since I learned I distracted myself on that joke. When a woman has her regular flow of blood, the impurity of her monthly period will last 7 days, and anyone who touches her will be unclean till evening. Anything she lies on during her period will be unclean, and anything she sits on will be unclean. Now, the first segment of this is like the man covered shit. Now it's about a woman and her vagina blood just making a damn trail over the damn place. That's the most dirtiest page I ever read. Anything she lies on during... Alright, let's start over. This is just... From shit to semen to blood. What's next? Anyways, let's start over on this point. When a woman has her regular flow of blood, the impurity of her monthly period will last 7 days. 7 days! And anyone who touches her will be unclean till evening. Anything she lies on during her period will be unclean, and anything she sits on will be unclean. Whoever touches her bed must wash his clothes and bathe with water, and he will be unclean till evening. Whoever touches anything she sits on must wash his clothes and bathe with water, and he will be unclean to evening. Whether it is the bed or anything she was sitting on. When anyone touches it, he will be unclean to evening. Who the fuck wants to touch the damn woman's like vagina blood? Here comes Dracula! Oh! Try not to laugh, but damn it. This is the dirtiest page I ever read. When anyone touches it, he will be unclean to evening. If a man lies with her and her monthly flow touches him, he will be unclean for 7 days. Any bed he lies on will be unclean. Damn! That's just nasty. And dude covered in fucking period blood. That Dracula's just bathing in that shit. That's just nasty. When a woman has a discharge of blood for many days at a time other than her monthly period, or has a discharge that continues beyond her period, she will be unclean as long as she has the discharge. Cry me a flowing bloody river. She will be unclean as long as she has the discharge. Just as in the days of her period, any bed she lies on while her discharge continues will be unclean, as is her bed during her monthly period. And anything she sits on will be unclean, as during her period, whoever touches them will be unclean. He must wash his clothes and bathe with water, and he will be unclean to evening. When she is cleansed from her discharge, she must